Moms, what's the nicest thing anyone's ever done for you? I never thought I'd be the kind of mom who cried in grocery store parking lots, but there I was, 3 months postpartum, sitting in my car surrounded by melting ice cream and wilting lettuce, absolutely losing it. My daughter Ellie had colic, the kind that made her scream for hours, face twisted red, tiny fists clenched. My husband had been away on a business trip for 5 days, and I hadn't slept more than 2 consecutive hours since he left. That day at the store, Ellie had been relatively calm in her carrier, a miracle. I'd actually managed to fill my cart with real food instead of the granola bars and instant coffee I'd been surviving on. But as I was loading groceries into my trunk, she started that telltale whimper that always escalated into full-blown wails. I abandoned the last bag, strapped her car seat in, and climbed into the driver's seat just as she reached maximum volume. That's when I broke. Exhaustion, hormones, and isolation crashed over me like a wave, and I sobbed alongside my daughter. Through my tears, I noticed a woman in her 60s approach my window. Great, I thought. She's going to tell me what I'm doing wrong or how I should be handling this better. She gestured for me to roll down the window. I'm so sorry, I said, automatically wiping my face. She has colic, and I'm trying. Honey, the woman interrupted gently. I raised 4 colicky babies. I know exactly what you're going through. I blinked at her, surprised. I'm Carol, she continued. Would you like me to hold her while you finish loading your groceries? Or I can load them for you while you try to calm her? I hesitated. My mother's warnings about strangers rang in my head, but there was something in Carol's eyes. Understanding, not judgment. I'm Emma, I managed, and could you maybe just load the last bag? I don't want my ice cream to melt completely. Carol smiled. Of course. As she placed the final groceries in my trunk, she asked, do you live far? About 15 minutes away. She nodded thoughtfully. Would it help if I followed you home and held the baby while you put these away? Sometimes a fresh pair of arms can make all the difference. My initial instinct was to politely decline. I didn't know this woman, but I was drowning, and she was offering a lifeline. Are you sure? I asked, voice cracking. That's a lot to ask of a stranger. I'm not busy today, Carol said, and I remember what it was like. Sometimes you just need someone to see you struggling and step in. I gave her my address, still half convinced she wouldn't actually come, but 10 minutes later, her blue sedan pulled up behind me in my driveway. Carol held Ellie with the confidence of someone who'd done this many times before. Somehow, my daughter's screams softened to whimpers in this stranger's arms. Go on, Carol encouraged. Put away your groceries. Take a shower if you want. I'll be right here. I moved through my kitchen in a daze, putting away food while occasionally glancing at Carol, gently bouncing Ellie in my living room. When I finished, I stood in the doorway watching them. How did you know? I asked. That I needed help? Carol smiled. Your eyes. They had that 1,000-yard stare all new moms get when they're running on empty. She stayed for an hour. Before leaving, she wrote her phone number on a notepad by my fridge. Call me anytime, she said, even if it's just to cry for 5 minutes while someone else listens. I hugged her then, this stranger who had seen me at my worst and responded with kindness instead of judgment. 3 years later, Carol is Ellie's honorary grandmother.